Hi everyone, I'm Diana Graber. I'm the founder of CyberCivics, and I'm about to show you a short demo about level 3. This is our third level of our digital literacy program for middle school. It's called Media Literacy for Positive Participation. And I really love this level because if you've taught the previous two, your students are so ready and eager to use their critical thinking skills to analyze media messages, and that's what media literacy is all about. So I'm going to dive right in here. As you probably already know, when a school subscribes to CyberCivics, they get a proprietary link that any teacher at that school can use to open their own private account and get access to this, which is all the materials they need to teach this level. Like the previous level, it starts with the Getting Started guide, which you can read online. Open big here like this. Basically tells you how to use this portal and get access to all the lessons. Again, like the previous levels, it's followed by the Teaching at Home guide. And this is for our homeschool families to know how to adapt the lessons to a very small group of 1 or 2 children. And then there's the explainer. This is for schools to send home to tell parents and guardians what they will be learning in school that year, the syllabus, and a little research about media literacy. Again, like levels 1 and 2, there's a student pre and post assessment that you can give students to learn what they learned during the school year. And then finally, this level, just like the previous ones, has all its lessons divided into different units. Every unit has a theme. I'm going to show you unit 1. It's a participatory culture. It always starts with the teacher guide, 1-pager that just tells you what the unit is about and gives you some links to other resources if you want to dive in and learn a little bit more yourself. There's the home activity letter, and this has activities that students and parent and guardians can do together that really underscore and emphasize the lessons you teach in the classroom. So you would write in the date that you teach the lesson in school, send it home. They can do the activity or watch the videos that the students have watched in the classroom to discuss the topics. And this first unit is really about, how kids participate with media. Are they makers or are they takers? Do they multitask? We talk about the multitasking myth, and yes, it's a myth. We talk about their brain on tech, and I'm just going to show you this lesson to show you how they break out. But whenever you open a lesson up in CyberCivics, you see the lesson here. You can download the PDF of the lesson plan, or you can open it up here and read it online if you don't want to waste paper. It's got your key standards, it's got your learning objectives, and basically your script that tells you how to deliver the lesson. Like levels 1 and 2, every lesson comes with Google Slides. I will open these up for you. These basically allow the lesson to teach itself. I'm going to quickly walk you through this one. Your brain on tech. Most of our lessons start with a discussion question. In this case, does it ever feel nearly impossible to put down a digital device or walk away from a computer, to leave a video game, exit a group chat? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. We talk about what it means to feel addicted. And so it will walk you through this. And then I'm going to get you directly to the video. These kind of set up what the students are about to learn, all these different persuasive technologies that companies use, how it rewards our brains with dopamine, really important things for students to understand, because it is confusing when you have this device in your hand that you feel you can't put down and it makes you feel powerless. But understanding why that happens really puts the power back into their hands. So just such an essential lesson to start the year off with.
Does it ever feel nearly impossible to put down a phone or walk away from the computer? Have you ever had trouble exiting a video game or a group chat? If your answer is yes, you're not alone. Today's technologies can be very persuasive. In fact, many platforms are built using proven persuasive technology techniques. This means that their technology has been designed specifically to change its users' opinions, attitudes, or behaviors.
So that kind of gives you an idea what this lesson's all about. Again, as you go through the slides, there's an activity that comes with every single lesson. This little slide will let you know that the activity is going to come, and it tells the students what to do, break into groups of 3 and 4, read the excerpt you get, discuss the questions. So there's some really good reading material in this particular lesson. All right, so we're going to move on. The next unit, calling on critical thinking, is really the crux of this level. If you do anything with level 3, spend a lot of time on this lesson 4, analyzing online information. This is an important lesson. It's based on research that was gathered by the Stanford History Education Group that found that youth lack the skills to judge the reliability of information online. And they discovered ways to teach students how to do this better, which is what we deliver in this lesson. I love this lesson. It gives them the 3 essential questions to ask whenever they see information that might be questionable. Again, you can read this online, open it full screen here, look at the Google Slides. The other thing I wanted to point out here on the lesson page, under downloads, you have your PDF, which is what you see here. You also have 2 ways to give the students their work. There's a fillable form, which means that you can deliver it online and have the students fill it out on their computers or whatever. Or there's the student packet, which you can print and deliver to the students, or you can have them just keep a lesson book. That's what I do, and do their work in there. So really a lot of different ways to have the students engage with these lessons. Because this is such an important lesson, I'm going to open the slides and show you. Bear with me, I'm trying to get my toolbar out of there. Okay, so let me just open this up. Okay, so this one, don't get duped. It's easy for just about anyone to post anything online. Therefore, you must think like a detective in order to avoid getting duped or misled. So you probably remember that term detective. It's brought over from level 1. It's something we return to again and again throughout the curriculum. We teach them what lateral reading is, which is an important way to do some fact checking. We tell them where the 3 essential questions come from. Then the first question, who is behind the information? That's something we should always ask when we encounter information online. There's a bunch of ways to do this. We have a little video that walks them through it.
With the internet literally at our fingertips, it's easy for anyone to post anything, anywhere, online, at any time. It's much, much more difficult to tell what's true, what's sort of true, and what is completely, well, bonkers. That's why it's up to us to think like detectives, so that we don't get duped or completely misled online. Fortunately, researchers at the Stanford History Education Group have been doing a lot of work in this area. In fact, they discovered that professional fact-checkers for some of the leading news organizations take certain steps when they evaluate information.
So anyway, it goes on to, excuse me, it goes on to teach them what these 3 essential questions are. So there's that one, who's behind the information. And I'm going to let you discover what the other 2 are on your own. I'm going to fast forward through this because like the previous ones, they always have an activity that you'll know is coming when you see the slide. In this case, the students get a great article that came from the internet, a ton of viewers, and it's got a lot of misinformation in it. So they use the 3 essential questions to analyze this article, and it gives them ways and tools to do this. So really, really great 3 steps for the students to learn. They will return to this again and again throughout the whole year of this level. It's a way that they analyze not only articles, but visual literacy, pictures, everything. So really important unit. Then we get a little deeper on this topic. The next unit is misinformation. Again, it starts with the teacher guide, just a 1-pager here for you, the home activity letter. And then the lessons in this unit, it really, we do a little walk back in history to talk about how much news has changed, and it was really delivered differently back then. And now students are getting a lot of their news from their devices, TikTok, etc. So I love looking at the history and kind of thinking about how that gets us to where we are today. We talk about the term fake news. I've got my little quotation marks around that because it's a term that has a lot of different meanings. So we talk about that. Don't click on the bait, which is clickbait. This is a great lesson. What does AI have to do with it? You might have noticed if you watched the previous 2 demos, is that we really try to integrate artificial intelligence literacy throughout the curriculum. We don't really have like a standalone unit, except for the one in level 2 that's specifically about research. But other than that, we really embed all this new AI stuff within our curriculum because it pops up in so many different ways. For example, here, it really has a lot of impact on how we get news today. So I think I'll play the slides for this one. Again, I'm going to go through the page with you. You've got your lesson plan, you've got your Google Slides, and you've got all your downloads there. For the students, they're either fillable or printable forms. And then you've got your video links. If you don't show the slides, you can just show the videos using the links that you just saw. So here's a lesson. What does AI have to do with news? This is a new one this year. It starts out with a little review of what they've already learned. AI is changing news. What is it? Can you explain how it works? They learned that in level 2, but you want to do a little review here. And then we talk about how it works, the difference between misinformation and disinformation. Just really easy to deliver these really complex topics by using the slides. All right, so we talk about deep fakes. I'm going to just play a moment of this for you.
Every day, millions of images and videos are uploaded to the internet by users all over the world. And many of these images and videos have been edited, manipulated, and even altered with online tools that range from easy to use to extremely complicated. For example, simple social media filters can make us look funny, cute, or ridiculous. Others can make us appear impossibly chiseled and perfect, while sophisticated technologies can turn us into somebody else entirely. Altered.
So yeah, it's quite the world we're living in, correct? Okay, let me get back here. So again, as you go through the slides, you'll see the activity. In this one, this is a great one. There's 2 articles. One was generated by AI and one was a real journalistic article. It's really hard to tell the difference, but that's the activity the students do in this lesson. Okay, so let's go back to our curriculum here. Like level 2, we've got quizzes. So there's your little quiz for units 2 and 3. These are important topics the students are learning. So we want to make sure they really indeed do learn them. Stereotypes and media representation. This unit has been completely redone. If you've taught level 3 before, I think you'll really love what we've done with the stereotypes and the don't label me and the add who knows you lessons. They're very, very different now. I'm going to show you something that's so interesting. In this lesson, again, as I mentioned earlier, we embed a lot of AI into all of these lessons. And this is so interesting because it's how, we're really identified online. We're put into boxes in order for advertisers to really target us with information or products they think that we'll like. And so AI really helps with this, but there are so many biases baked into AI. For example, when an AI generator was asked to generate an image of a successful person, here are the images it generated. It's all men. Isn't that interesting? In Western business attire who work in an urban office tower and share a common hairstyle. So these are actually searches that we conducted. I conducted one asking for a typical mom. Those are the 2 typical moms on the right. I don't know about you, but I don't fit into either of those categories. So really interesting how AI is contributing to this whole topic of stereotypes and media representations. All right, so the next unit, visual literacy. I feel like this could be its own standalone curriculum. So much of the information students are getting today is visual. As you know, these visual mediums like YouTube and TikTok are just growing exponentially, and that's what students are drawn to. So it's important for them to understand how to read visual literacy or read images. So we start with a little history lesson before there was Photoshop, how things were altered. Don't let that photo fool you. We talk about all the different ways and the reasons why images are altered and how to detect that. When Facetune goes too far, I don't know if you know what Facetune is, but it's an editing system that a lot of young people use before they post their images online. And then we talk about how even products are altered sometimes. And again, there's a little quiz. All right, I'm going to take you now to Unit 6. This is one that we added this year as well, sex education. And we thought this was really important for a few reasons. Number one, so much visual stuff online. A lot of the stuff is really inappropriate for kids, but they see it anyway and they think it's okay. Yet students, young people cannot share the same kind of images between each other because it's called sexting and they get into a lot of trouble. On top of that, there's sextortion, which unfortunately happens between young people. It's when they hold on to these images and maybe use them as revenge if they break up. So there's a whole lesson on that. And then this one is very, very important, sextortion and AI. Right now, we know that FBI issued a warning early last year that there's a lot of cases, especially of young men being targeted in sextortion schemes. That's when someone pretends to be someone they're not in order to track their interest online. And it's really serious. And it's so important for students to have the tools to recognize this and know what to do with it. AI is making matters even worse. There were some incidences last year of schools being rocked by incidences of deep nudes. If you remember earlier, we taught the students what deep fakes were. That's when an image is altered online. Well, believe it or not, there is software available online for free where someone can take an image of anybody and with a click of a button, make that person appear nude. So that is being exploited in some schools. So we need for students to know how serious it is to do this and how much trouble they can get into should they be caught up in such an instance. So this is an entirely optional unit. Some schools will not feel comfortable teaching it, and that's okay. For others, you may experience some of these things in your own environment or community. So you have these tools here with resources that you can turn to if you need more help. And then finally, we end with a unit, the power is in your hands. And this kind of loops back to the beginning. You know, what is your digital future? There's so many things and so many ways that you can use technology. How will you use it as you go forward in your lifetime? So we talk to the students about how will you participate, the power of participation, making technology accessible for all. And then we loop back to the very beginning. Are you a maker or taker now? Which is basically an assessment to see how students use technology. And then we have a final little unit at the end on research skills. This will review some of those skills they learned in level 2, especially if they're working on an 8th grade project. These will come in very handy. So as you can see, level 3 is so key. There's some great lessons in here. It's really, really fun to teach. I've taught it many times and just get a kick out of these lessons. I learn a lot, even when I deliver these lessons. So I hope you will too. If you have any questions or need any help, please feel free to reach out anytime at support@cybercivics.com. Thank you.